Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Recently I was asked, how do you farm? And I was really stumped about the question. I mean, what do you mean, how do I farm? I farm like how everyone farms. And so it took me a while to think about it, and it was just kind of on my mind. It's like, I don't understand this question. How do I farm?
If ever you find that the
How
other person
everybody
you
else
love try to behave in
farms?
ways you
Do
not
people farm
understand,
differently than I do?
just ask me and I will
Is
explain.
how I farm unique? And then I did come to the conclusion that maybe it could be a video and I could talk about it because I remembered that I have a few videos on fixing other people's accounts. I'm like, yeah, maybe some people do need to know how to farm, and maybe I'm better at just doing it efficiently, I guess. Also, I haven't been here since last year. It's so gorgeous. I love this island. It's amazing. Anyways, so if you watched my 100 Days Till Snezhnaya video, then you would know that I have been doing a lot of artifact farming and ley lines, most especially, to get at least 40 million Mora. But at the moment, I'm working on getting that Mora up to 50. Where's the where does it show you? Yeah. So I'm getting there. And then my books, I'm at a decent amount of books to where I want. But maybe you are wondering, how do I efficiently level up my characters? And I have so many characters that are level 90. I've been playing this game for a long time, and when I do level up a 4-star, like randomly, like recently it was Diona, it's not like such a big hit on my resources. So we're gonna get into that. First thing is first. We're gonna look at Chi-Chi since I do not want to level her, but first thing I do is collect boss materials, and then I just don't do anything else. And I make sure to get enough to get to level 80, and then I think about later if I want to do level 90. Oh, I missed. I think that doing the bosses is probably the hardest part out of every building every character, because, well, it's just a hassle, I feel like. And there are times when you might not get the amount of boss reps that you want, and it's the hardest part, but it's also the quickest to be over and done with. Like, artifact farming is the worst, which is why it is last. Okay, so the next thing on the list to do, let's see. What does Chi-Chi need? She needs violet grass. We are not farming violet grass. That is torture. I will not be putting myself through that. But yeah, by the time you are trying to reach, if you're not using your fragile resin, and by the time you reach 46, it might already be time to also get the local specialties again. So I do keep that in mind. And if you don't have enough of these, I don't think everybody knows that you can get Dust of Azoth, which if you buy this stuff, you can change cryo gems to pyro gems and so on. Like, for example, I think it's, yeah, like here. I usually, because I have so many of the tiny ones, I just craft a bunch of these, so then I can just put it into the next one, craft for the next one, craft for the next one, because I usually don't have a lot of these big ones, so I don't exactly craft. If it goes larger than the tiny ones, I don't really touch them. For keeping an organized schedule, typically, where is it? I need that. Not the bag. I farm these either every Sunday or Monday, depending on when I remember. I just have a set day every week that I farm these so that I do not run out, because I think people struggle with them most when it comes to these. And I would say, as a new player, pick how many pick which ones you want to do wisely. I would say, since you probably want the new characters, do the newer weekly bosses and also do the older ones too at the same time, because there's so many 4-star characters from 1.0 that you should be building. I say should, but it's only if you want to, like, do a my stream theater, have better endgame content like rewards. Bennett would be great help, Xingqiu, Sucrose, Shangling. But yeah, there are quite a few character 4-stars that I would say that need these drops, and you should be going for them as well. Okay, let's say that our Chi-Chi is now level 90. And so, should we do this one first, or should we do the weapon first? If you have an assortment of weapons and you're probably a late game player, you might have something to put on her temporarily or already. And if that is the case, go to talents first. And if that's not the case, well then I'd still say the same thing. Work on talents. Just put something on her temporarily. You don't have to level it, just do the talents. And they will always tell you first priority, second priority, level up as needed. Typically, that means just don't even touch it. Don't touch this because you do not need it. And then they will say that for a lot of other characters. I think the best way to figure them out is what you want out of them. Like, Jean can be very versatile. You will always get Jean eventually. I mean, some people just... She's great at being an attacker. She's also great at launching people, but you don't need to level her talent to launch people better. She also does really good healing. I think out of all of the things that she does, healing is her best thing to add to a team, so you would level up that. Some characters, like Skirk, are a little interesting, because she can have this go up one more level, and you might think that you're always doing normal attacks with her, because you're always click, 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 right? You know? To attack, but it's actually the skill that you want leveled. It's you're doing normal attacks, but it is technically the skill that you want to level up, which means that you might have to read or watch a video that has a tutorial on it so that you don't accidentally start leveling the wrong thing. This is only leveled up just in case I run out of the skill, which happens quite a bit. And then her burst. It's okay to level up. It's a thing. It does great damage, but you don't have to. And another thing that I like to prioritize is some characters I maximize, some characters I do not. Like, for example, Shalonen has a crowned skill, but her artifacts are very bland, so she's not exactly maximized. And that gives me an incentive to level up her talents higher, because my artifacts are awful. If my artifacts were the most amazing thing ever, I would say lay off on the talents. I think an example of mine would be Anefa. I haven't crowned her, but her artifacts are pretty good, I'd say. This is a little overkill, but it works. This is exactly how I wanted her to be built. She has enough attack for me. She has enough EM, enough crit rate, as you can see, and enough energy recharge. I mean, she doesn't really need it because you don't need to use her burst. It is fine to not use it if you do not want to, and then her normal attack, don't touch it. It's the same case for a lot of characters. If we were to pretend that Lauma is entirely a support, I'd say do not level this up. Do not level up her normal attack. I would say prioritize her skill. Even though this is a good buffer, but sometimes you just don't have enough energy recharge for it, or you just ignore it. See, even Genshin says the same thing. Okay, so let's say you've gone from leveling up your character all the way to 90. You've done a lot of their talents. You maybe even crowned them if you saw fit. What next? You have the weapon, you have the artifacts. I would say work on the weapon next. You can just put scrap on them if you so please. Now, how does one farm for a weapon? Well, the same way you farm for anything. You go into the domain and you come out with the stuff that you need. I say for saving stuff, just keep it at level 80. But at the same time, if you are at level 80 for a character, I'd say level 90 the weapon instead. Like if you want to like go off, which is the higher level of the weapon or the character. Do not forget to refine some of your weapons, and if you are early game, I would say do not refine your weapons until you have enough to R5 one of them and have an extra, because you will hate yourself. Oh, right, sometimes it'll say available for a limited time. I don't really think that matters when it comes to farming exactly. I kind of enjoy that I can like put in a schedule when I should do farming of this thing, farming of that thing, but it is kind of annoying at the same time. I will say, like, if I cannot just farm for this thing today, that would be annoying. How I get a lot of like these things and these things without like going out of my way to farm them, when I have the time and when I'm not leveling a character, I keep in mind what drops you get from doing the ley lines. If I were to go here, I would get these drops, and sometimes you— oh, Mavuka, come on. Like you could also get drops from these guys, which I forget the name of because I don't come to Natland, I'm sorry. Because I only have 3 characters that have leveled from Natland. But do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, if something that you need takes place in a certain country, like fungi drops, I'm always running out of them. I start farming ley lines in Sumeru when I have the opportunity. When I'm not leveling up characters, I'm farming ley lines, and I'm getting the fungi drops from them at the same time. And then there's like miscellaneous enemies that take place everywhere, like the whopper flowers, but there are definitely ley lines in Liyue and in Mondstadt that have whopper flowers come out of them. That's also helpful. You always need whopper flowers for something. So farming in Mondstadt and or Liyue is great. And then how I get a lot of handguards, because handguards are annoying. I farm in Inazuma in the ley lines to make sure that I do not run out, and specters, because specters farm them, for example. Oh yeah, and these guys, which is helpful. Oh wait, does this one not have— why would you do that? So that is a way that you can collect materials from the drops of, like, literally anything. Specters, handguards, whopper flowers, limes. The only downside is those things don't go anywhere unless you claim the rewards, and that is a waste of resin when you are trying to farm for something else. That guy's burning. And then I think that when it comes to leveling up weapons, I say if it's a character that you know that you're not really gonna use that much and you don't need to put that much effort into, level 80 is just fine. Level 90 I'd say for the characters that you really care about, and if the stat really matters, like energy recharge, you kind of want a lot of that for a lot of characters. Crit damage, yeah, as much as possible as well. I'd say also that level 90 weapons is more important than leveling up your character to level 90 because it takes so much more resources and your time and your mora and your XP books to go from a level 80 to level 90. But the issue is only having your talents at level 8 and staying at level 8, and they can't go any farther unless you have constellations. So it's a trade-off, and it's not a trade-off that I would prioritize. I feel like level 80 or level 90 in your characters is personal, and it's something that you can do if you want to. This is about maximizing your characters. And you don't have to. You don't have to do that. You can just be as casual as you want. Or be as crazy as you want. Like, I crowned Nahia's normal attack when I did not need to do that. I should have put that energy into her burst, but I was like, I don't care. It's not that deep. It really isn't. Okay. Artifacts. I would say these are the last thing to do. You just kind of put on what you have. Make sure that you're putting whatever they prioritize on the circlet crown and the sands. Sometimes you don't have to. Sometimes the sands really wants you to get energy recharge on it because you just don't have enough. Really depends on how you're going to play that character. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about farming. How I farm artifacts. I go into a domain, typically a recent one. Let's say the new Mondstadt one. Yeah, because I've been doing that one quite a bit. I go into here. I farm for this specific set. Currently, I am ignoring this set because I don't really have a use for it at the moment. But let's say I'm also farming for a character that has a set that is old, and then we strongbox. Strongbox is not exactly the funnest thing, but it means that the artifacts that you don't care about, you can feel a lot better about putting them into a set that you're actually going to use. My specific set that I've been farming has been Noblesse and occasionally Tenacity. These two sets are some of the most used still, as well as VV. Shockingly, they are still being used. Emblem is also a very good set to keep in mind, and I'm saying this if you are a new player and want to know what sets to prioritize. I'm going to list them off. I'd say honestly just go into this domain because it has these two sets are pretty good, both of them. This set is also very good. I would just go into the domain for that one if I am not already farming something else. I would say those are priority sets when it comes to sets that you can strongbox. I would still, if you're trying to keep up with some meta, still go into the current artifact domains and farm what they have, and that's what I would prioritize. Obviously you don't have to, you can just full send it into these old domains if you want, but it is a way, well, this is my way of getting multiple sets at the same time and not wasting my time in multiple domains because it does get annoying and I don't want to do it. Farming, anything else? You can get a whole bunch from exploring as well. It's not as much as just going to the ley lines, but it is an option. And I think that's why I haven't always struggled that much with XP books and Mora because I am a frequent explorer. Okay, that was.
I need to jot this down.
Oh. Also, another thing. I always go here. And as much as I can, do this. Sometimes it'll say you don't have enough. I used to have a lot of these and then I logged in. And now I barely have enough to always do that all the time because you need those things to level up your weapons. And then for dispatching characters on expedition, I make sure that every single one of them is getting those rocks. And if not rocks, then food. Like, I think I use pine cones in a certain food. I don't remember. And then llama is also getting these rainbow drop crystals. And that's how I farm for these without actually farming for them. And how I have so much of the weapon material now because I haven't been farming for... I don't have a need to level up any weapons, so I have this much. I have quite a bit. I used to have like 5. Because I do level up my weapons. Yes. And they are pricey. Very pricey for level 90. But it won't be so bad if you continuously try to get Mystic Enhancement and try to get as much as you can every single day. The Battle Pass is also helpful for telling me when I need to do things. I just have it fully maximized now, so it's not telling me to do anything. So I can take a backseat on cooking 20 dishes, forging items, which I already do, obtain realm currency, which I need to do that right now. I actually need to do that. That's another part of my farming. So I go into my teapot, my lovely teapot, which I do have all the way at the max level,
This realm is
which I believe is called Fit for a King. If you get the highest adeptal energy, you can get a lot of friendship XP and more of these realm currencies more often, which are helpful in turn for buying myself a transient resin every week, buying the sanctifying stuff and that, and then I just have to wait to get it. But I only get, if I'm not farming one of these already, I just go for the artifact stuff because I'm always running low on it. And since I'm farming currently for these 2 things, I don't purchase these. I don't even bother. And besides, these are a lot more easier. Not these. I didn't mean that. Mora XP books are easier to keep around and farm for than getting artifact fodder. It is so easy to not have any artifact fodder whatsoever. So that's why I prioritize these things and the transient resin, which I typically use when I want to farm for the weekly bosses. Okay. I think that's it. I think that's all I have to mention. Alright, and this was a short one, but that's exactly how I wanted it to be. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye!